Starts off fresh.
Well, I guess just overall evaluate what you saw.
I think that there's some good competition. I think the efficiency of what we got to do, I expect a little bit more from us, and I just mean that in getting in and out of things. Got to be able to start a little bit quicker offensively, but we really are harping on we got to finish this thing, and I think that they kind of stayed with it, stuck with it. We're looking for that momentum builder, and right now offensively we're trying to find that guy who's going to be that spark. And to me today it looked a little bit like Mike Warren. Mike Warren starts to get the thing rolling, and you got to find a way to create energy, and after that happens, really good things happen. So, I think both sides of the ball, we got a lot we can do, efficiency of things, but finding those playmakers, and I think that's what we're going to highlight.
How about defensively? What did you see defensively?
I think we're a lot better. I mean, I really do. I think we're stout. I think we can run. Again, the ability to cover, I think, is still what we got to find out. And, we weren't challenged as much today with some of the stuff down the field as we are every day in practice. So we see a little bit more in practice. So I like what I see. I like the aggressive nature. Creating some havoc and some disruption plays has got to be a key for us. Not just sacks, but the ability to create disruption plays. And I think we're on the right path.
Without talking scheme specifically, but you've got a hybrid guy at defensive end, a hybrid guy at linebacker. How versatile does that allow you to be and what you can do? That's
what we're going to be more of. I mean, you got to figure out who you are and what you do. It's not going to shove a square peg in a round hole. And I think last year we were trying to maybe be a little bit more of something we weren't. And in the long run, it was tough for us to create things. And we're trying to figure out. I think we're further along in figuring out who we are and what we've got, and how we can handle the situations and give us the best opportunity to be successful. And right now, that's finding ways to create havoc. And like I said before, whether that's pressure, and whether that's just being aggressive, whether that's a different mindset, some different hybrid guys, some more speed. I think we're on to something. I feel a lot better about where we are.
Have you been surprised or impressed with Michael Pitts in terms of his ability to be disruptive and be a guy that's got some consistency?
You really like when you kind of, from the time you walk into a program, a year and a half later, you guys kind of pinpoint those guys that have made a progression and a change, and not like he's a completely different, but the ability to what we try to evaluate and play hard. Those guys that can take that mindset, the ability to go and play and not have hesitation. And right now, if I would say there's a guy that I'm as impressed with anybody throughout the entire camp is Mike Pitts, and his ability not just to create havoc, but his ability to play hard every single down, because we know he's got ability. I think he gives us an opportunity to get
What about leaders in the locker room? What guys are standing out, stepping up during the shirt camp?
Well, this is where I'll tell you what we're going to find out. We're going to find out the next 6 days. So we got a day off tomorrow, and then we go 6 days straight. And you'll really find out what kind of leadership you have when you really get to this grind of camp. And so, we've got some things we're trying to continue. I think leadership is still developed. There's obviously natural born leader qualities, but it's on us to make sure we're continuing to promote and guide these guys and teach them how to be better leaders. And we'll find out this week what kind of guys really got that makeup and can truly excel at the tough times.
Quarterback race still open going into week 2?
I think it is. And to be honest, I really like the progression. I really like the competition that they've created. You sit in those meeting rooms and their ability to compete in the meeting room and then go on the field and compete, still helping each other out. I've been really impressed.
You remade one position more than maybe any other cornerback, and now you look, you've got 2 deep, even a 3 deep. You can feel pretty good. Do you feel good about that room now?
I do. I think that we need to be tested, and we're making sure we're trying to figure out who we are and how we can best play. Same thing. You can't always do the same things you've always done. And we've got some different guys, and we got to figure out what their strengths are, and then hone them in. And I think that's what it comes down to is. When you figure out what guys can do really well, then you got to master it, and you got to put them in situations where they can be successful. I think in the first 6-7 practices, I think we found a lot more of what is our comfort level for those guys, and still the ability to challenge what they're doing. But it's really nice when you've got I think we've got 4, maybe 5 guys that can provide a lot of depth for us.
How has Brian Wright's transition to linebacker been so far?
So far, so good. I mean, the ability to handle some of the tougher situations is what we got to find out. I've told you, I think last year, I think he's one of the better true natural players on our football team, just understand the game. Guys that play quarterback in high school understand the game a little bit more. I've been real successful in a lot of the guys I've had at linebacker position that were quarterbacks in high school. Just their progression, understand the football game, anticipating things. That's what I like to have at one of those spots. And right now he's he's right where we want to be. I think after this next week, I'll feel a lot better about who's going to guide this defense.
How do you see the new redshirt rule changing things?
We don't really know. I mean, we know they can play 4 games. I don't know if that's going to change our mindset as we start off. I think it's really going to affect us later in the year. You know, I don't want to change how we look at things in the beginning of the year. If a guy's not ready, we don't want to play him. Don't just throw him in there because he has 4 games, because if that's the case, he's probably going to be ready in those last 4 or 5 games. So right now, we're not going to change our mindset of how we do things, and really kind of look and say, hey, if this is going to be a factor, then it's probably going to be late in the year.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.